This is part 3 of our NBA Draft 2019 coverage. We're starting off with Brad talking about the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, those Sixers. Philly, I love Matisse. I think Matisse is great, but he's got a very Tony Allen, maybe some Marcus Smart type elements to him in his game. I don't necessarily know how much that jives with Ben Simmons. Joel Embiid's not the most reliable shooter. He's a willing shooter. He's awesome. He's great, but he's a career 30% shooter from 3. Ben Simmons does not shoot threes. Matisse is not an offensive player at all. It's going to be hard for him and Ben to be on the court at the same time, but he is a defensive monster, so if they can find a way to make it work, he could be really, really great for them. So I give them B-.
That leads us to Phoenix. Oh, Phoenix. Your fans were on fire. The Phoenix Suns need a veteran presence, so they went out and drafted one. Cam Johnson is almost 24 years old with bad hips, but he can shoot. He was projected as a second rounder, and they took him at 11. That's a reach. That is a reach.
And they traded down from 6 where they needed a point guard desperately for that. Go figure.
Sorry, Phoenix. You guys get an F-, and I'm sure your fans would agree with us.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
A lot of friends who are Suns fans. Feel sorry for you every day. Portland, Trailblazers. Trailblazers don't really play their rookies. They don't really play young guys. Terry Stotts generally will kind of ease guys into the rotation. Zach Collins might be the one exception, but even then he didn't get really substantive minutes till the second season. Nasir Little needs a lot of work. He's raw, but he has a ton of tools. Portland's a great spot for him because of the system that Terry Stotts has implemented where rookies aren't really expected to play right away. They don't really need them to play right away. Obviously their guard line's awesome. They might have the best guard line in the NBA with Klay Thompson out next season. So you gotta give him an A. I gave him an A- specifically. He slid in the draft, super talented. There's a chance he might not make it, but based on the tools, based on where they drafted him in the first round, I mean, you swing for the fences, and if you hit a home run, that's awesome.
Going down to Sacramento, they had 3 second-round picks. I think their earliest one was 39. It's really hard to grade a draft where all 3 of your guys are coming that late into the second round, so I gave him a B-. Kyle Guy looks like he has potential. You only need one of your 3 guys in the second round to hit to be successful. So B- for the Sacramento Kings.
Kings. The Kangs. All right. San Antonio Spurs. Spurs had an interesting draft. Luka Samanic. A lot of draft experts thought he was a reach. They didn't feel like he necessarily could make it. He could do some things. He's young. Obviously, he's a Euro, and the Spurs have a huge reputation of taking Euros and developing them throughout the years. So they might know something, but that pick did seem like reach. However, in the same vein as DeJounte Murray falling to them at 29 and Derek White getting to them at 28 or 29, they got Keldon Johnson at 29. Keldon Johnson probably isn't quite the talent, doesn't quite have the upside as DeJounte Murray, but he's pretty good. Getting that guy at 29 is a steal. And putting him in that system with Chip Engelland as a shooting coach and obviously Pop and his assistants and the culture that they have there, if that dude pops, I mean, we keep saying, why do the Spurs keep doing it? But part of it is just that they're drafting the best player available, but other GMs overthink it and overdraft guys, leaving guys like Keldon Johnson there.
That leads us into Toronto. The Raptors had 1 pick. It was the second to last pick in the draft, and they took Dewan Hernandez. Not gonna lie, I don't know much about Dewan Hernandez, but they did leave some guys on the board. Lou Dort was projected as a first rounder. Shamori Pons, I think he has a lot of upside and would be helpful for them in what they're doing. And those guys ended up going undrafted. So I gave them a C.
They did just win the title, so
yeah, they're not going to
benefit of the doubt. They're
not going to care for 10 years.
They got Pascal, Van Vliet. They know what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So
I'm just going to go lightly over the Jazz, as we've mentioned in previous videos. That's our team. We don't want to focus on them too much. But they also had 3 picks that were very late in the second round. Number 50, number 53, and number 58. We give them a B-, because once again, all you need is for one of those guys to hit.
Washington, the Wizards. I like Rui. I think he's a good player. Probably my highlight of the entire draft. There were a couple. Seeing Darius Garland walk out looking like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Bol with his suit. Zion's little cool let's dance. The other thing was when our guy Rui was compared to Kawhi Leonard on ESPN's broadcast. Chauncey Billups said that Rui looked like Kawhi Leonard. I mean, what? Like, Rui's got a wingspan. He doesn't have those hands. He doesn't have the skills defensively. In fact, Rui's probably a below average defender, but he can score. He's great in the mid-range. He has the potential to expand that range out to 3. Washington, what are you doing? Why do you need him? I mean, you've got Bobby Portis as a restricted free agent. I mean, Rui is kind of a little bit like Jabari Parker. You got Jabari in your team already. So, good player, bad fit, bad pick, overdrafted, C-, and I feel like I'm even being a little generous there.
That's what happens when you don't have a GM.
That's what happens when you're the Washington Wizards. Sorry, Wizards fans.
If you're a Houston Rockets fan and you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan, you probably noticed that we skipped you guys. There's a really good reason for that. You didn't have any draft picks. No draft, no grade. That's going to end it for us today. This is our third and final video on the NBA draft for 2019. Let us know in the comments what you think. Do you like our grades? Do you hate our grades?
Throw us a like. Love us. We love you. Hope that helps.
Give us a subscribe, and we'll see you next time.